about the addiction from Spirit Ramatis from the book Physiology of the Soul. And today continue addiction of alcohol. The question after I finish in the next, the anterior, the last question was, this carnation doesn't destroy desires, because these are psychic and hot and not physical. After bodily death, when the soul finds itself prevented from alcoholic satisfaction, it's precisely when its desire intensifies even more, and the idea of the impossibility of satisfying the vice produces terrible despair. The question is, when the spirits tell us that death of the physical body does not extinguish the desire to consume alcohol, we are confused, because if the body is physical, everything leads us to believe that the earthly tomb seals the definitive boundary of physical sensations. Are we mistaken in our reasoning? And the answer you can see in the last after, before this slide, okay? Now I will continue the next question. Those questions are in the last video about smoke. Continue. What is the clearest idea we could form of this unfortunate man? You can living mug. Living mug is the denomination that the spirit had to people that only live to drink alcohol. Ramatis answer, I designate as living mug the creature that allows itself be completely dominated by the addiction to alcohol, becoming weakened in their sense of psychological and spiritual command. When this happens, the addicts from the beyond, who tune into her psychic constitution, monitor her and act incessantly on her in order to be able to place her under the vibratory frequency with which they operate in common, to completely subvert her will and character, or her or his. According to the law of spiritual affinity, the candidate for the whole of living mug must vibrate in the same vibrational range as the disembodied malefactor, as it is only in this way that the latter can act successfully and intercept any superior inspiration that may be sent to his victim in order to free himself from the addiction. As soon as the obsessor gains complete control over the incarnated drunk, he tries to surround him with care and protect him against other disembodied entities that could also use him as a living mug. The alcohol ingested by the earthly alcoholic, after it reaches his stomach, stabilizes in a progressive operation until it reaches its ethereal astral form, at which point the addicted spirits can then suck it into the aura of the unfortunate drinker. It's a kind of repulsive vampirism operation that, in order to partially satisfy the disembodied, exhausts the victim's vitality, exhausts the victim's vitality. Sometimes several addicted emits gather around the aura of the same drunk, creating a grotesque and degrading scene of sucking of alcohol. They appear irascible and irritated when their patients don't serve them satisfactorily, failing to drink the desired quantity for their complete morbid satisfaction. They work furiously to make the unfortunate man increase his dose of alcohol, as he represents the transformer who must saturate himself more and more in order to fulfill the repulsive task of giving drink to the addicts of the beyond. And continue. Hence, why many alcoholists insist on saving that a hiding forces them to drink more and more. If you know something addicted this way, you can say to him all those things. I ever drank when I was teenager. All final week, I went in Saturday night in a bar, in a discotheque, in a place full of drink, and drank. When I read about it, I no more make this. This was 13 years ago. Today, sometimes, other day I buy wine to make sweet from the start New Year. All New Year I make this with special peanuts and other similar and fruits with sugar, and we take wine. Until now, this bottle are in my refrigerator, but I don't have will to drink. I don't have this will. Because this was information too. Without information, they will be attracted to us. All addiction is this. When you don't have information, your mind is free. Oh, we can smoke, we can drink, but it's not this way. The reality is not this way. When you start to heard about it, all things will modify in your head. You will have a protection. You will be ardently, so fast, go out of the situation. Because this I'm here talking about it. Then Ramatis are saying what is the living mug. The candidate of the whole of living mug must vibrate in the same vibrational range as the disembodied malefactor. The alcohol ingested by earthly alcoholic after it reaches the stomach volatilizes and volatilizes, I don't know, in a progressive operation until it reaches its ethereal astral form, at which point the addicted spirits can then suck it into the aura of the same drunk, creating a grotesque and degrading scene of sucking of alcohol. They appear irascible and irritated when their patients do not serve them satisfactorily. Do you stop to an addiction and start to be nervous? Maybe is this influence upon you? Wanting more, that you don't stop to this. Know this will make all difference in your life. They appear irascible and irritated when their patients don't serve them satisfactorily. Failing to drink the desired quantity for their complete morbid satisfaction. They work furiously to make the unfortunate man increase his dose of alcohol, as represents the transformer who must saturate himself more and more in order to fulfill the repulsive task of giving drink to the addicts for the beyond. Hence, why many alcoholics insist on saving that a hiding forces them to drink more and more until they fall the ground unconscious, so saturated with alcohol, like miserable human rags, exuding the repellent vapors. The human being, to satisfy them, must be drink to satisfy them. Then they will ask, and put your head, if you are linked with these spirits, to get a bit of saturation. They are sucked of your aura. And so saturated with alcohol, like miserable human rags, exuded the repellent vapors of total drunkenness. They go through the rest of their lives transformed into victims of their obsessors. Where are these obsessors? Who cunningly hide in the shadows of beyond the grave. Question: are all creatures that drink alcoholic beverages extensions of addicted spirits from the beyond? Are all creatures that drink alcoholic beverages extensions of addicted spirits from the beyond? Oh no. No, you need to avoid interpretations extremists in our communications, as only the complete loss of will and moral profligacy can make creatures eligible for the status of living mugs, of disembodied evildoers. Our warning about the danger of the creator become a living mug are particularly aimed at those who expose themselves to destroy their spiritual invigilance and who docilely and completely surrenders to alcohol addiction. Docilely and completely surrenders to alcohol addiction. If this were not the case, your humanity would be a herd completely enslaved to obsessors based in the lower astral. As it is extremely rare to find a woman creature, pay attention. It is extremely rare to find a human creature that doesn't have an addiction, a valve, or a passion capable of making it vibrate dangerously with some addict from the beyond. In other words, the harmful condition of living mug in which the incarnated person loses control of their spiritual direction and becomes a lubricious extension of the perverted, discarnated, only materializes when excessive physical or moral disorder occurs, resulting from the feeling of alcohol addiction. The worthy man, although he uses alcoholic beverages naturally in moderation, is of course automatically protected by his own superior spiritual condition, which predominates over his animal nature. If he continues to serve the cause and honestly fulfilling his duties as a father, son, brother, husband, or useful citizen of the community, he is certainly immune against the pernicious interventions of the addicted spirits of darkness. In no way can the regulated aperitif or the festival without alcoholic exaggerations, which takes place in the friendly intimacies of the home or in fraternal gatherings, the difficultly in a way can the regulated aperitifs difficultly serve as an attraction for delinquent spirits, as they are always repelled by the immunizing force of sublime fluids. The danger of lower astral infiltration begins precisely when excessive alcohol intake begins to disturb the control of spiritual consciousness, favoring in the individual the emergence of the unshed baggage of animal instinct, which then forces to take exclusive command of the carnal body. On this occasion, the spiritual guides began to lose control over their reckless pupils who, of their own free will, then began to vibrate in tune with the dangerous vibratory frequency of the dark disembodied. Although, after alcoholic excess, the creatures establish the control momentarily lost under the action of alcohol. They are subject to constant visits from addicts from the beyond, who still seek them out for a long time, hoping for new libations similar to those they participated in the first times. Even dignified and educated men must be extremely careful and vigilant when taking part in agapes where the traditional aperitif or glass of champagne can lead them to the unfortunate role of living mugs. If they don't avoid the excess of libations, that little by little can lead them to tune in to the magnetic bands of the evildoers from beyond the grave, who always lived in search of subverted sensations of the flesh. Question. Supposing that an individual, despite being very addicted to alcohol, is an excellent soul, always devoted to the good of others, that will be his situation. What will be his situation after entering the beyond the grave? After abandoning the body in the earthly grave, no one is free from suffering the effects of their own vices or their unruly passions, as they cannot escape the implacable law that the sowing is free, but the harvest is obligatory. However, earthly addicts who discarnate, but who were very good creature, and helpful to others, always deserve special protection. Many addicted individuals, but with good feelings and fraternal good nature, they are welcome when crossing the tomb by groups of relatives and friendly spirits who protect them and prevent them from being abandoned or falling into the clutches of disembodied evildoers. But in the face of the relentless justice of the law, the addicted soul will always have to drain from its unpaired spirit the terrible, excruciating load of poisons embedded in it by excessive alcoholic etherealism. Just as it will have to suffer the terrible desire for a drink, awakening in the beyond as if emerging from the deepest intoxication on earth. Then it's better we control this here, because there, if we will, a good person, help others, helping ourselves, helping family and others out of family, will suffer the state without the addiction. Terrible, cause don't have this gross body. Then it's better we start control now, here. and try to stop this. To those suffer, still we will protect if we mercy, we will protect, but we will suffer the less these elements, alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, etc. People that drink medicine to sleep, all this. Not only drugs, other drugs. What are the environments in which these obsessors swarm most in search of living mugs in the earthly world? The question almost contains the answer. As you well know that brothels, gambling dens, nightclubs, taverns, and other places where alcohol is abused are the environments where the unruly people from beyond the grave swarm. They huddle around their victims and encourage them to indulge in all sorts of alcohol abuse. Almost always the percentage of addicted spirits that haunt and prey on reckless people who abuse alcohol is much higher than that of those who indulge in other prey, and is made up of thirsty, lustful, and choleric types, increasingly distressed by the lack of a physical body to satisfy their addiction. From the miserable their addiction there from the miserable people who is the earthly world were outcasts or homeless or who succumbed to cheap cachaça, alcohol in Brazil, to the lucky ones who lived around the lavish tables of luxurious palaces and who indulge in very expensive whiskey. I drank some time. American whiskey is so good, so sweet sensation, but the result is the same. The disembodied person doesn't care about the possessions, culture, hierarchy, or privileges they have enjoyed in the carnal world. Alcoholism is misfortune that, after the death of the body, equates and unites the miserable with the millionaires. The disembodied person does not care about the possessions, culture, hierarchy, or privileges they have enjoyed in the carnal world. Alcoholism is misfortune that, after death of the body, equates and unites the miserable with the millionaires. They come together victimized by the same desirous need to form desperate bands or phalanxes that, linked by the same interests, support each other in the wish for perverted satisfactions. While around the noisy tables of the addicted environments, lavishly, lavishly adorned with the most exotic alcoholic mixtures. The red people make inconvenient jokes, comment on lurid cases, have fun with indecent jokes, crowd around them deformed faces. How the movie uh, uh, how the movie, I forgot. I saw this in other life. Um, Star Wars is the same. Do you remember those bars when people totally disformed monsters in those bars? In Tatooine, the name of the city, and they stop and uh, the driver, I forgot the name. The driver was in those bars. They enter, and his animal that talked too was Chewie. This appearance of Chewie is the same in plane in other dimension. Is the bar of the Star Wars. This. Pay attention. The disembodied person does not care about possessions, culture, hierarchy, nothing will separate the people addiction in other dimension, nothing. The disembodied person doesn't care about possessions, culture, hierarchy, or privilege. They are all addicted. Alcoholism is misfortune that, after the death of the body, equates and unites the miserable with the millionaires. They come together victimized by the same desire and need to form desperate bands or phalanxes that, linked by the same interests, support each other in the search for perverted satisfactions. While around the noisy tables of the thick environments, I read this. The red people make inconvenient jokes, comment on lurid cases, and have fun with indecent jokes. Crowd around them, deformed faces, drooling lips, and congested faces of unfortunate spirits that look more like monstrous birds and corvids. Is the bar of Star Wars that revolve over the containers and suck at you vapors, moving swiftly within the thick fog that exudes from the auras of alcoholic landowners. Certain vices terribly deform and stigmatize human figures. And therefore, when you later meet them in the beyond the grave, it's very difficult for you to recognize among them some of them who on earth crossed the streets of cities, reclined in luxurious vehicles, of wearing very expensive clothes, display a large cigar between their fleshy fingers, decorated by splendid elders. The victims of alcoholic rage, after being disembodied, cause astonishment and horror in their own closest relatives. See this, you don't recognize no one more. are saddened to find them transformed into alcohol-thirsty vampires. This happened because any uncontrollable desire subverted, pay attention, this happened because any uncontrollable desire subverted by virtuous degradation corrupts the aesthetic lines of the perispirit. Since psychic degradation tends to process the return of the human figure to the bestial forms of inferior animals, which were already inhabited elsewhere by the soul. In its primary evolution, the counters, depending on the intensity of the addiction, fed. Then the spirit exhumes from the surface of its physiognomy, the old plasticity of ancestral animality, which served to constitute the foundation of its human configuration. And hence, the harmful action of alcohol does not respect the social, intellectual, or economic position of the creature, but insidiously harms any organisms. The teratological deformities produced by the ethyl agent stigmatize both the drunkard, who is degraded by cheap cachaça, a national drink, and the one who is constantly drunk with the most expensive drink in the world. That is what I have to read to you today, and hope you are have final Sunday, stopping by knowledge. You will have force strong to don't make this, because you know that you will change your face to an ancestral animal if you turn it up addicted that lose all control from your addiction. Is this? If you are a good person but drunker and have this addiction, you will suffer. You will be receive protection of your parents when you go rebirth in another dimension, but you don't escape to feel a great pain, so much more, because you don't have more this body, and you will feel so great agony until the venenos you are put inside your body will go out of the perispirit. Then all these situations can happen. And you must, knowing of all this, have strong to control this now. Okay? I hope you have a great final week. Stop to exaggerate it or eliminate it totally this to your life. God bless all. Have a great final of Sunday. And starting the week with much decision, much strong, and be strong with God and angels. And don't stop to help others. Don't stop to help your neighbor. Don't stop to help your family. And you in first, of course. And love God of all things ever. Until the next. God bless all of you. Thank you, your presence.